I'm Meg Kennard, national politics reporter for the Associated Press. This weekend, I'm in Greensboro, North Carolina, where a trio of presidential candidates are speaking to delegates at the North Carolina Republican Party's convention. The first speaker up is Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who's bringing his message of anti-woke policies to delegates at the convention. On Saturday, former Vice President Mike Pence and former President Donald Trump are slated to speak to delegates. This appearance by Trump is one of his first two public events since his indictment on federal charges in the Southern District of Florida. On the campaign trail, many of the other Republicans competing for their party's nomination are speaking out about the indictment. Among them is DeSantis, who has condemned what he calls the weaponization of the Justice Department in terms of the charges it is seeking against Trump. Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, who's also competing for the Republican nomination, has also spoken out with critique of the indictment against Trump. There are some, however, who have spoken out against the former president, like former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, who has called for Trump to drop out of the race before the indictment, but also since its issuance. But former Vice President Mike Pence, who will speak to North Carolina delegates this weekend, has had a bit of a shift in the way that he's approached the federal case. Earlier this week in a CNN town hall, Pence urged caution in terms of the, at that time, pending indictment. But later, Pence seemed to evolve in his comments, saying that he hoped the Department of Justice, if it were to bring a case, had a convincing one, as he hoped that charges against the former president wouldn't diminish people's perspective of the department's power. Trump's federal indictment comes several months after his indictment on state charges in New York. After those charges were brought by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, Trump marked more than $8 million in fundraising, purportedly a signal of some of his supporters in terms of how they feel when criminal charges are brought against him.